What's up, guys? Albert here. Welcome back to the channel with another video. Today, I'm talking about the Rhode Island energy bills. There's a lot of conversation lately as far as the Rhode Island energy bills, the crazy increases that we've seen in the last couple of months. This has been the most expensive energy winter that we've had in Rhode Island. Pretty much everybody's talking about this. It's every Rhode Island family is being affected by this, and especially families that are on fixed income type housing are just being brutally affected because they've seen energy bills double and quadruple at certain points. I'm going to cover in this video conversation around why this is happening, who's causing this, what companies are involved in this, and much more. But before I get into the video, subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. Subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support. By the way, I'm getting a lot of new subscribers that are more interested in videos like this than the previous videos that I used to do. I'm a real estate agent by trade. If you're looking to support me in any way, the best way to support me is if you're looking to buy or sell a home, or if you know someone who's looking to buy or sell a home. And if you want to connect with someone who truly cares about their community, not just on the real estate sales side, but also deeply covering daily issues that affect the daily person in Rhode Island, send them my way. My information is right below. And before I say anything else, let's get into the video. So I prepared, as always, a couple of different articles that I want to go through here, that I want to review. I'm going to go through them and we can kind of understand what the conversation is happening. There's a lot of people that are saying a lot of different things about this, of where this is coming from, how this has happened, and how we got here. So let's get into a couple of articles that I've chosen to cover here. Okay. So first off, I wanted to cover understanding your electric bill. This is really important to know where the distribution of power is going, no pun intended, right? So if you look at here, it very clearly states, this is an article by WPRI, which I love because they always do a really good job. So if you see here, the supply of the energy, which means that the energy that you're getting to use for your house, only 51% of the total cost of your bill is going towards the supply of the energy. The rest of it is going through all of these other sources. So if you look at 0.02% LIHEAP, then you have RE growth programs, 1.3%, energy efficiency programs, 3.4%, renewable energy, 7%, customer charges, 1.9%, taxes, 2.1%, transmission charge, 13%, and distribution energy charge, 20%. One thing that people have been complaining about the most is the distribution charge. This is really what they call the delivery fee. So this is how much we're being charged for the energy to be delivered to our houses, which is kind of like the main thing that people have been talking about lately. So let me see. So then there's also a chart that shows 2023. So how $335 million was spent in Rhode Island clean energy programs in 2023. And you can very clearly see the difference, right? Energy efficiency costs, 30%, net metering, 28%, estimated renewable energy standards compliance, 19%. So that dropped to 7% now. Long-term renewable contracts, 15%, renewable energy growth program, 9%. So all this is obviously Rhode Island initiative of being, what is it called? To reach minus carbon in the state, which is a noble idea. But now the conversation is going around, okay, at what cost are we trying to reach that? And you can see this is the cost, right? This is how much money is going towards these programs that is now affecting the bill, right? So I'm going to go a little bit higher on the article here, and I'm just going to read a couple of comments. Okay, so this is... Target 12 has been flooded for weeks with complaints from Rhode Island energy customers expressing frustration over electric and gas bills, which has soared in the first 2 billing cycles of the year. I was quite shocked, said Joe Albee, a Cranston resident whose electric bill totaled $400 last month. Now, this article came out a couple of weeks ago, so it probably was either February or January, right? $400. And this is not even the highest. Like, I've seen much higher than this, right? The outcry has Rhode Island Energy defending its role as the state's largest utility company. This is also one of the other problems, right? They almost have a monopoly on energy delivery in Rhode Island, which is Rhode Island Energy. And state lawmakers proposing legislation aimed to reducing customer costs and in some cases, pumping the brakes on some of the state's more aggressive clean energy policies. If you're not aware, Rhode Island has some of the most aggressive clean energy policies in the country, right? They cannot afford these high energy costs, said Representative Charlene Lima, a Cranston Democrat, who's proposing legislation to cut certain utility bill costs and add a decade to Rhode Island's current goal to becoming 100% dependent on renewable energy by 2033. Like, this is insane. I'm not against green energy. We all want that. Not all of us. But we want to slow down, take a deep breath, and look at the effect of these policies, she said. Rhode Island Energy, here's where this gets even juicier, right? Rhode Island Energy made $24.8 million in profit from electric customers in 2023. But its earnings are hardly the only cost driver for customers. This is what I said earlier about the delivery fees. Company executives often highlight state-mandated bill charges for clean energy when trying to deflect blame on high costs, arguing they cannot control policy at the State House. Yes, they can. I'm not here to make a judgment on whether those costs are good or bad, Rhode Island Energy President and CEO Greg Cornett told Target 12 earlier this month. We certainly support the state's clean energy and climate goals, but the question is at what cost? And what is driving these significant delivery charges that customers are seeing in these public policy costs? State leaders and clean energy advocates, meanwhile, have long argued that raising clean energy funds through utility bills is necessary to achieve the state's lofty carbon cutting goals, which are designed to curb sea level rise in a state with more than 400 miles of coastline. This is just... I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I'm just going to keep reading it. Right now, we're going to continue to invest in the ideas that we have on the table because that's part of our economy. Okay, read this again. This is our boy, Governor Dan McGee. He says, right now, we're going to continue to invest in the ideas we have on the table because that's part of our economy. Translation, we know that these bills are high. We know that this is hurting our people, but we're going to stick to that plan. Stubbornly stick to that plan. I made a video previously about how he has the lowest approval rating out of anyone in the country, right? Understanding your electrical bill, I already covered that. Now, I want to go to this one quickly, right? So this is Vincent Sorgi, CEO of PPL, the parent company of RI Energy. So RI Energy is owned by PPL. Saw his compensation jump 31% to $12 million. The president of Rhode Island Energy, Greg, let me just zoom this in quickly. I hate this picture here because I'm not trying to do that. But the president of Rhode Island Energy, Greg Cornett, has taken to social media to criticize some members of Rhode Island General Assembly. Cornett posted to LinkedIn to claim that lawmakers' efforts to ease electricity costs would hurt customers. He goes on to state that much of the discourse is based on inaccurate information about who is behind these increased costs. Cornett, however, did not address the increasing expenses of executive compensation at the company. Cornett and the rest of RI Energy answer to a parent company located out of state. So CEO compensation up 31%. Since Pennsylvania's PPL bought Narragansett Electric and rebranded it RI Energy, energy prices both for gas and especially electricity have skyrocketed in Rhode Island. In each of the past 2 winters, Rhode Islanders have seen electricity costs for homeowners and businesses jumping as much as 50% in a single year. This is real. I live here. We experience this. I have clients who literally cannot afford this. A friend of mine was telling me the other day he was getting a haircut at a barbershop. And one of the barbers was saying how they might not be able, they're going to cut their gas this month because she's probably not going to be able to pay it. So the everyday person is being truly affected by this. In each of the past 2 winters, Rhode Islanders have seen electricity costs go up to 50%. The increase in electricity costs jumped 47% in 2002 after regulators approved RI Energy rate increase. At the same time, Rhode Islanders were getting hammered. The CEO of RI Energy's parent company, PPL, saw a massive increase in his compensation package. Sorgi, the CEO and president, realized a 31% increase to $12 million a year, according to PPL's financial reports. In 2022, Sorgi's full compensation was $9 million. So it went up by almost more than $3 million, and that's pretty much when they acquired Rhode Island Energy. So definitely that has something to do with it. Regarding Mr. Sorgi's compensation, specifically CEO compensation is set by a committee of PPL's board of directors, one comprised entirely of independent directors. More than 85% of our CEO's compensation is at risk based on performance against operational and financial goals aligned with increasing value for customers and shareholders, said the company. This is Cornette's full post on LinkedIn right here. There's a robust discussion happening in Rhode Island around energy affordability. Unfortunately, much of the discourse is based on inaccurate information about what is actually behind these increased costs. At Rhode Island Energy, our nearly 1,400 union and non-union employees work every day to bring safe, reliable energy to our customers as affordably as we can. Our efforts are working. In the time since we took over the operation of Rhode Island Energy, we have delivered one of the best electric reliability, performance, and gas response by any company in the state history. That's not a big shoe to fill, but yeah. But Rhode Island Energy controls only a portion of the monthly bill, with the majority of the cost being driven by public policy mandates and supply costs. The portion of the average electric bill that supports our system operations and investment has decreased as a portion of the total bill since 2021, while other components of the bill, including policy costs, have grown significantly. So this is what I was talking about earlier. What I was talking about earlier about all the green initiatives. So this is really what he's talking about here. The state is committed to making Rhode Island the greenest state in the country, and that's a big part on these costs. Don't forget, every green initiative is subsidized by tax-paying dollars, federally and in the state. Even when you go buy an electric car, you can get up to $7,000 credit or rebate if you're buying that car. That money is coming from the taxpayer, so it's being subsidized. Same with solar panels, right? Solar panels do the same thing. The only way they work really is by them being subsidized by taxpayer dollars. Otherwise, on their own, they do not make sense. So let me see. I have one more here. Then they went and said, so this is another article by RhodeIslandCurrent.com. They also went and said that during the summer, we're going to see decreases. We're going to see bills come down. However, a lot of people are saying that the decrease is not going to come down so much where it's going to balance out these numbers. So Rhode Islanders are still going to end up paying more money than they were paying before. Rhode Island Energy customers can still expect to see the usual seasonal savings on their summer electric bill this year, but they will pay a bit more than last year. And last year was also already high. The utility operator submitted its proposed 6-month summer electric rates to the Rhode Island Public Utilities Commission on January 16th. If approved, the rate change would take effect April 1. The proposed 10.18 cents per kilowatt hours, or 0.5 lower than the rates charged in the summer of 2024. Additionally, customers will have to pay an extra 25 cents per month compared with the summer of 2024. So an extra 25 cents more than the summer of 2024. But the summer of 2024 was already increased from the summer of 2023, and so on. 2023 was higher than 2022, and so on. So that's why we're dropping it, we're increasing it, and we're dropping it a little bit, but it's not coming down to where it was before. It's still staying up higher. It's just that it might feel like a decrease because of how much we've been paying. So what I can tell you from just feet on the ground, seeing people every day, hearing people on social media talk about this is a legit problem a lot of Rhode Islanders are facing right now. It's another one of those things that is really aggravating, and it just shows how out of touch the state is with its people. And the point of these videos is not to take a political position. I'm not trying to do that. I'm really not interested in that. It's just to kind of highlight these ridiculous things that are truly going on. And this is one of them. And it's literally one after another thing that happens here. But it's something definitely to keep in mind because it is truly affecting people. Now, let me just cover the combination of these high costs, because this is not the only thing that is expensive. Housing prices are at record highs. They have never been this high, really, in the country, but also in Rhode Island. The average price of a home in Rhode Island is now $475,000. Okay. It used to be in 2020, it was under 400. It was like 380,000, maybe 400,000. And, it just kept going up. This is not a reflection of Rhode Island policy. This is just a reflection of the current economic state in the country. But combine that now with high electricity bill, general high cost of living, people are just being completely squeezed out of any opportunity to save and forget about building wealth, but just to save and survive. So a lot of people are struggling with this at a very high level. I wanted to make this video to just kind of cover these things because it's important, and I hope you learned something about it. But again, keep in mind the biggest issues around this. Now they highlight that the CEO got a bonus or a salary increase by $3,000 or a 30% increase. And probably the way they looked at that is because the profits that the company made since they purchased Rhode Island Energy are astronomical. I didn't see it here, but I think it's somewhere around like 500 million or something like that, the profits that they made. I'm not really positive on it, but I believe it's that much. So these are things that are important. These are things that matter for the everyday Rhode Islander. The other part is the state's green initiatives. If you live here, you know how aggressive Rhode Island is on their green initiatives and how important it is to the state to lower the carbon footprint in the state, because they want to lower the water levels. That's just crazy because it's not connected. It doesn't make sense, and it's just not going to work. And then another argument that Governor McGee always makes is that this is going to open up the economy and create new jobs. But this is creating fake jobs because this is increasing the everyday cost of a Rhode Islander to support jobs that really are not necessary in the first place. I really hope they do something, but they will not. They're not going to do anything because now summer is going to come. Bills are going to drop a little bit, and then people are going to get over it. And then we'll see what happens next year with this issue, because I think next year is going to be more important. Because if I were to guess, they're probably going to try to increase the bill slightly even higher during the winter next year to continue with these crazy policies. So there you have it. This is what I wanted to cover. I hope you found some value in it. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, leave the comments below. I love reading the comments. And again, if you're looking to support me, I am a real estate agent first. That is how I earn a living. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, or if you know someone who's looking to buy, or if you're looking to move to Rhode Island, connect with me. I will not only help you find a house, but I will also try and educate you as much as I can and kind of the macro and micro movements in the state and what place you should be buying real estate that could still potentially make sense. See you.